Today we're going to present to you 3 different mobility moves that, done with consistency, will keep you more flexible and also keep you more agile as you get through your day physically. This is why mobility is so important. We cannot change the fact that we're going to age with time, but what we can do is stay ahead of the negative effects of aging. Remember, it's the brittle branch on the tree that breaks. The one that flexes with the wind stays on the tree. And that's what we're trying to battle here and what we're trying to stay ahead of. So if we're not consistent and proactive about this, then as we age and as time goes on, especially if we're active, we just get tighter and tighter. And it becomes more difficult to move around. And when that happens, bad things happen. That's why this is so important in life to do. But you must be proactive about this and consistent. Stretch in the morning, stretch during the day, stretch at night. You must be proactive. This is important stuff. Listen up. So the mobility move that I wanted to demonstrate today is the pigeon pose. It's loosely adapted from the yoga pigeon pose. Okay, so what you're going to find with this is going to be a really good one to stretch out your glutes. If you struggle with piriformis syndrome or sciatic nerve, it's going to give you some relief on that. And on the opposite leg, you're also going to be able to extend your hip. So the pigeon pose is done. You're going to want to get into full plank position on the floor. So hands are in about push-up position. This is considered a full plank. And you're going to bring one leg up, bend at the knee, bring the other leg down. So this is where your sciatic nerve will come in and your piriformis syndrome in your glute. And on this side is where you're going to be able to extend your hip. Now, this is great if you can get in this position. I'm already getting a stretch, but even better if you can bring your arms down and you want to lay down across your leg. You don't want your leg out here or anywhere else. You want to lay almost on top of it. And if you can, put your head down. When you're down here, you want to take a count of about 10 to 20 seconds so you can almost relax in position. Then come on up, back into plank position, and then bring the other knee up and do the other side. Again, you're going to stretch through your hip flexor and then lay down on top of it. Do about 3 reps on each side, and that would be a great thing to add to your morning ritual. And that's the pigeon pose. So today I'm with Eric Bell, and we're going to discuss what the benefits are of getting into a static squat and how to do it correctly and incorrectly. A lot of people have real tight joints in their hips and ankles, and that's going to really show up in this move. So Eric, let's look at a static squat.
All right, so a squat with your heels planted, the benefit of this would be, notice my lower back is rounding. All right, your lower back's supposed to have flexion extension there. All right, if you set your squat down, let your back round, your back is flexed. Help stretch that out. All right, sitting in this position, make sure that your ankles and your hips and your knees have a normal range of motion. All right, it's a nice relaxed position. Some things that might go wrong with trying to get in this position is if you have really tight calves. If that happens, you'll notice the toes will go out a lot and the knees are spilling in. It's going to stress right here in your knees. That's not a good thing. Some ways you can work on getting in that position are, 1, to stretch your calves, but 2, you can also elevate your heels. That'll allow you to get down in that position. The heels are still planted. All right. And you just want to sit there. The difference between this and squatting with a barbell or squatting for exercises, those exercises you don't want your spine to move. You want it straight. This, you want it to round.
What's going on, everybody? Dan here to bring you a good exercise for your upper body mobility. This is shoulder CARs, okay? CARs stands for controlled articular rotations. So first thing you want to do is stand very still. you want to root your feet into the ground and keep your legs extremely tight, flexing your glutes, flexing your core. And you're gonna take one arm and you're gonna rotate that palm forward. You're gonna irradiate the entire time so you're recruiting as much muscle as possible. You wanna try and keep your arms straight. You get even with the ear, you're gonna rotate and reach back, continually rotating that humerus to the point where your pinky's now forward, okay? Now, you're gonna reverse that same motion. I'm just gonna show you from the side, keeping everything tight. Reach back, rotate, come back across and down, okay? Now the point of doing these things is if our shoulder's not healthy and we can't recruit in its full range of motion, let's say I can only get to here, if I have to grab something overhead or do something overhead, my back is what's gonna take the load, because what I'll do is I'll start to use my spine to get my arms where they need to be. That's not what we want. Now I understand not everyone's gonna have a great giant circle. I still need to work on my circle. But the thing is, you're gonna go as far as you can, right? Let's say you get about here, starts to get tight. You're gonna start rotating there, boom. Now we're back even. Start rotating, 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 that's fine, okay? So do about 2 sets of really slow, controlled, 2 sets of 3 if you're doing it right, okay?